Recorded live from the G.O.T. Sound Studio in Columbia, South Carolina. This is the All About Nothing podcast. The views expressed on this program are the opinions of the hosts. Listeners are encouraged to follow the show on Twitter at AAN_pod or at theallaboutnothing.com. You can email the show at theallaboutnothing.com. You may also call and leave the show a message at 803-672-0533. Thank you for listening.
All right, welcome to the All About Nothing podcast. Trent Clark, Barrett Gruber, Zach King. We are recording live here in the G.O.T. Sound Studios.
G.O.T.
I don't know why I felt like I didn't have anything to say right there at that point.
Oh, I was half deaf from having to adjust the volume of my headphones.
And I was giving like the ad-libs. I think usually you get ad-libs when we come in, so
Yeah, that's right.
we usually hit you with the ad-libs.
This is that section of the show where we just kind of talk over the music because we don't start talking about something usually until the music's ended.
Yeah.
So we can talk about the music.
We
Talk
can.
about how much Wanda and Vision suck.
Oh, come on, man. I don't understand. Okay, I'm
And
3
Nick and I don't
episodes in.
agree on superhero shit, but he's
I think it's I think it's fantastic. Like I'm enjoying it.
I don't have Disney yet, so
Plus.
yeah. So
That's okay.
I'm not
As soon
trying
as it
to.
came out, Gabrielle's like, you're paying for that, right?
Yeah, you gotta.
Got The Simpsons on it, so.
It's true.
That's the reason why you got it, huh?
Oh, no, I just had to go find a reason.
Well, they're gonna be there's I mean Disney Plus is gonna have a ton of stuff
Star
releasing
Wars
on
is
it.
the
All the
biggest
Star Wars stuff.
Eventually.
We have like what 9 new series coming for Star Wars alone,
Yeah.
and like Marvel's got another
The
15 or something. Star Wars.
Hawkeye, Falcon and
the Winter Soldier.
Which
Loki. These are all coming.
But do you all think these are all gonna be hits though? Do you think they're just giving us stuff or not?
WandaVision ain't a hit.
That's what I'm saying. So how many duds are they about to shoot at
Okay,
us?
let me ask, how much did you enjoy Captain America: The Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Okay.
That's the Captain America movies were espionage films,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I thought they were great.
See, I think it's to know what's going on behind the scenes as far as WandaVision. It's the fact that Vision does not. Vision only exists like in her mind right now.
Yeah, he's got it. That's another thing that they haven't cleared up. Sure, you can be like, how is Vision here?
Yeah. So, okay. Spoiler alert.
Scarlet Witch is by her damn self.
Yeah, she's in there by herself, but
And I know that other chick is I don't know. Spoiler alert, but Agatha is also like one of the oldest witches
right,
ever.
correct,
And is part of it. And then, but I think the mistake they made with it is so fucking boring right now, and you shouldn't release it one episode at a time. This isn't The Mandalorian where you can watch one episode and be like, oh my god.
Yeah, I agree, but
you needed to release all of it.
I think
At the same time.
But what I will agree. I believe it's more difficult to watch in this medium where you're watching one 30-minute episode at a time.
Yeah,
I think that's a little disappointing. But
that's the reason why every time a show gets popping and I start hearing people talk about it, I don't watch it until all the seasons are done. It's like
24.
I did that with Game of Thrones, and that shit was difficult, man. That's an hour and something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I love to watch it, and I don't have to wait until next week to find out what's going on. Like now, I've been hearing stuff about what is it? He's not a lawyer. He's not a lawyer. He's on it's the judge. I think it's the attorney or something like that. It's on Showtime. The guy from Breaking Bad is in it.
Oh, yeah. That's you're talking about Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
What's it? Judgment or something? No, I can't remember.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it yet.
They were saying some good stuff about it.
But it's only a one. It's a one and done
It's a
season.
limited series.
Yeah, it's a limited series.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you. Like, I don't mind Mandalorian. I watched that when the episodes came out. When I caught up with Game of Thrones every Sunday, that was the thing to do. Every Friday was Mandalorian. I'm down with that, but you're giving me like an hour of stuff. Yeah. Not 30 minutes of what the hell's going on and no answers are given to you. And like you get a hint of something if you're clever enough to pick up on it.
Yeah.
And even if you can pick up on it, you're still like, that's not enough. And I gotta wait a week for 30 minutes?
I agree. I agree. I'm enjoying what I'm watching, though. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying the fact that I know, like if somebody else were just watching this, like that had no idea or had only seen the movies or whatever, I think that they would probably be a little lost. I don't know what's going on. This is a new story for me.
It's Twilight Zone Marvel.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
Well, and it's all leading into the...
It's called Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's it.
Yes.
It's Bryan Cranston Showtime.
Yes.
I will say this
done with that season?
No, it's still going on right now.
So
that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna watch it until it is done because I'm tired of people trying to give little hints and stuff like. And I
can go with that.
I hate waiting to watch what's gonna happen. Like
everybody, shut up.
Oh, let me tell you,
The Orange Is the New Black. I didn't watch until
Have you finished that?
I started the first 2 seasons.
I haven't finished the last season. I mean, spoilers don't bother me, but
I just got tired of like prison shit, and I was just like, I don't care anymore.
I enjoyed what I watched, but
it was good acting.
Yeah,
very good acting.
I tried watching all of Oz, and then I'm like, prison shit's got old again.
Like whenever the girl died, like
that gets real old.
When the girl died, the skinny girl died. At first, that was some really good acting. Like from the cop, like you know what I'm saying, just putting his body weight on her.
Mm-hmm.
It made it like surreal to me. Like dang, like prison cops could kill somebody just by restraining them.
You know the white security guard who gets that one girl pregnant?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That dude, his ass is popping up everywhere. How to Get Away with Murder?
Yeah. I've seen that.
He's in other movies too. That's a great show.
I'm telling you, that show, The Orange Is the New Black, a lot of people branched off and did some good things.
Yeah, that's true. Like the Hispanic girl that the two girls that had their own pod. I guess they weren't doing a podcast. They were doing a video blog of like how to do makeup in prison.
But you got to think they were ahead of their time because now it's little girls that's doing that and they get millions of views on it.
I'll blow y'all's mind even more. The guy with the mustache.
Yeah.
He is the leprechaun in American Gods on Stars.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He's the leprechaun.
That mustache just makes him look different. And now he was in that movie with Gerard Butler, and I think 50 Cent was in it, where it was like Run the Block or something. Whatever the hell it was, where the Gerard Butler's the cop chasing him down. He was in that, and now he's Master Chief in the Halo series.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That dude's out there doing shit.
That's crazy.
You gotta get out there, man.
Hey, I just want to say that special thanks, of course, Neek the Geek, our engineer and producer, as well as the owner and operator of G.O.T. Sound Studios here in Columbia, South Carolina. You want to book any time, call 803-243-2302, or you can email gotsoundstudios@gmail.com. 2 hour minimum on bookings. You can find more details on Facebook. Just search for G.O.T. Sound Studios. So this week was an emotional roller coaster, if I'm being completely honest.
Who here feels better?
I feel better, but then like I'm also like between Don Sutton and Hank Aaron, and we'll get into it. It's like outside
of the unfortunate deaths, all those men were old, but they were legends. In their each perspective, rights. But
absolutely.
I'm more talking amongst. I don't have to listen to what the fuck Donald Trump has to say at all.
Here's the crazy thing. I don't have any sound bites for Donald Trump this week.
that is like a first within like 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about it. I assumed we all watched the inauguration.
I didn't watch his ass going away.
I did.
I watched his kids crying.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And
speaking of kids crying, did you hear the Tiger King said that the only person who cares about him is Don Jr.?
Yeah.
You know the funniest shit in the world
he's probably about to turn him once he gets out. He's about to turn.
Dude.
he's turned lesser. You get what I'm saying? He's turned manlier, man. You
remember this man was running against Donald Trump for president?
I donated to his campaign.
You know what I mean? The Tiger King?
In Oklahoma, I donated to his campaign. Of course, why not?
Hey, man, that's funny.
I hate that man. I think he's a massive piece of shit.
Of course.
And but
I mean, he's one of the realest.
He is such a dumbass. He was so confident his ass was getting out that they had a limousine waiting on him.
And makeup and hair.
Think about how crazy you look.
He's got your shit makeup, damn it, I ain't getting
But think about how crazy you look. Now you got makeup on for everybody else in prison for that.
They didn't put makeup on his ass yet.
No.
He was
waiting to be pardoned. He was waiting to be pardoned so he could come outside. He's gonna have hair and makeup. And I guess like news crew from Oklahoma City.
A limousine, everything.
It was all planned. And then it was.
But then they got the Kodak Black.
Yeah.
And they got Lil Wayne out. Tiger King's coming like mother.
Kodak Black. That's crazy. Hey. All I'm saying, now it really makes sense about what somebody said earlier this week, that every pardon he gave out, it was a dollar sign behind it.
Oh, for sure. Completely. There is the only one that I'm not... I mean, there was a whole list of these people that got pardoned. 173 people.
Imagine selling pardons, Neek. Imagine if, like, everybody else on the block got work, but you got pardons in your back pocket?
You don't think that takes away from their street cred?
No.
And like,
no.
Bro, he had to go up there and kiss his ass.
Bruh, you got pardons in your back pocket.
Donald Trump says, Lil Wayne, you come play me a show. He'll be like, I'll be right there.
Bruh, who do you think Biden will pardon? Like, let's
not
be
people
real.
who committed federal crime.
yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and especially before they've been
difference.
tried. Here's the thing. I expressed this on somebody's Facebook post.
But Lil Wayne
It was
did
like,
say he did already say guilty at first.
oh yeah, well,
Because
see,
he
that's
knew
the thing.
what he was going to do.
That's the thing. I explained this before.
firearm.
Yeah.
I said no one in their right mind should ever look at a pardon as being a declaration of innocence. Pardoning someone is purely a declaration of guilt. Like Steve Bannon got pardoned. You know why? Because he was going to federal prison.
Jared Kushner's father.
Yeah, literally. He was in prison, right?
Served like 10 years or something, if not more.
There were Republicans that were doing time, and like they're now out of jail, and for things for like stealing from campaigns and things like that. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Former Representative Ricky Renzi, Republican from Arizona, was convicted in 2013 for extortion, bribery, insurance fraud, money laundering, racketeering. Renzi left prison in 2017. He was pardoned. He's already out of jail. Why did you pardon him? So he could get a gun?
Yeah.
So he can vote again?
Did you hear that?
He can still run for office. I mean, as a convict, you can run for office.
Sure.
It's so crazy.
But you couldn't vote for yourself.
No. Well, not in jail. No, yeah, that's true. You can't vote for yourself. You can run for office, you just can't vote for
Wow.
yourself.
That would be crazy. Somebody to get in office.
Because
And
if you have a federal
legally
crime, you
vote
can't
for
vote.
themselves.
It's crazy.
So,
Oh
yeah,
my
you could run for
God.
office, but you couldn't vote for yourself.
That's crazy. So that means you ain't even need your vote to win.
You would have to call up all your family.
Can you imagine if it came that close?
Yeah, it's like one.
Yeah, like me.
We tied. Former Representative Rondell Duke Cunningham, Republican from California, who was released from prison in 2013 after serving 8 years for charges of bribery, fraud, and tax evasion. Dwayne Michael Carter, the rapper known as Lil Wayne, he pleaded guilty to possession of a firearm and ammunition for convicted felon. I don't know.
Trump's his daddy.
Yeah. I mean, Steve Bannon was still awaiting trial in Manhattan for charges.
Like,
For defrauding literally Trump supporters.
yeah.
I know.
Literally was scraping money off the top of these people for donating money to build the wall, which, by the way, Mexico never paid for. We got to find out where that money.
I don't get how you still support Donald Trump when he's pardoning the people you didn't want to come across the border.
Once
Oh,
you
yeah.
see these
Fucking-
hotels popping up, these new hotels in these new states, y'all gonna
New
know
states.
what is happening.
Trent, we're
Washington,
gonna-
D.C.
Nick, is it okay with you if we put like a cork board that we bring out so Trent can pen
We can
and
start
like
putting all
They're
the.
about
We-
to make some new states,
we-
bro.
I don't doubt that.
I'm telling you.
We have
This is facts.
a new
So-
state?
Yes, new
States.
states.
So here's the thing. For me to really, I don't
Middle
have any
Carolina.
problem with Washington, D.C. becoming a state. I don't have any problem with Puerto Rico becoming a state.
You can't house the capital in a state.
Why not?
I think it's like written.
No, there were considerations to putting the capital in St. Louis at one point, where St. Louis, literally the middle of the country.
I thought that was why they moved it from Pennsylvania into D.C. because it was a district because you couldn't have the president be residing in a state.
No, I don't think it would make any difference. I mean, we can look that up.
I mean,
You may be right.
there's no senators for D.C., right?
There's a representative, but they don't get a vote on anything.
Yeah.
They
So
only get to argue.
there's taxation without representation.
Exactly.
They have everything a state has except for rights.
Same thing as Puerto Rico, Guam.
Do you think that's how every state should be ran? Like Washington D.C. is ran?
No.
No. I think I think everyone should have a
Nobody should have a
representation.
vote.
Pack of cigarettes like $15.
And I'm saying like nobody has a representative, but the people make the decisions.
The
No,
people don't
they
make
still
any
have a mayor.
decisions.
They have
Oh,
a
they
mayor
have
and a
a
city
mayor,
council
so
and
okay,
everything.
okay.
You know, they have a national guard, but ultimately they don't have any statehood. And here's the thing: I would fully trade. I would bring in Washington D.C., Puerto Rico, and Guam, and get rid of North and South Dakota. Potentially even like merge like Idaho with
Dakota.
Montana. Yeah,
Dakota
it's just a Dakota.
Dakota.
It's the state of Dakota.
Why not?
You know, it's Montana. We don't need Idaho potatoes
But I
anymore.
was
We have
thinking-
Montana potatoes.
I was thinking more when
Let's get real. South Carolina and North Carolina.
No.
It should not happen.
Those are two. That one's that's one that
you know how
shouldn't-
fucked it would be if you merged these two states together.
Oh, speaking of
the issue ultimately with my issue with North and South Dakota still being separate states is there's not even like 2 million people between them, but they have 6 representatives and 4 senators. Those senators
That's
have more
absurd.
power for their states than by capita or by capita as far as like population. They have more power for those people than anywhere else in the country. And I think it's ridiculous that Dakota is a state, that South and North Dakota are states, and Montana. Just make them the state west. That's it, West State.
Yeah, but Montana's like
It's pretty. Let's just call it all Montana then.
well, Kanye.
South Dakota's gone. North Dakota's gone. Idaho's
we
gone.
need better. But you know, if you rename a state something, it's gonna have like a 21st century name. It can't be. Well, they asked people on the internet to name a boat, and that shit got named Bodie McBoatface. You're gonna have a new state, and it's gonna be Stadium McStateface.
I remember that.
Like, what are you gonna?
That is great.
And they're like, "Fuck, we said we'd do it." And so there's a boat out there named Bodie McBoatface. You can't trust people. You can't trust people to do this.
No, that's true.
You need a damn name generator and just be like, we're gonna name generate
people that have bots.
Did
when they can keep voting for something over and over again and know they'll win because they have programs.
No. What? Who's the mascot for the Philadelphia Flyers? That fucking monster.
Oh yeah.
Didn't people vote for that too?
What is his name?
Gritty.
That thing
Gritty.
is scary. Why?
Gritty.
The Orlando one. That's
the Pelican.
scary.
Yeah, that thing's scary
Like
too.
what?
I don't know who voted for Blooper. The Atlanta Braves.
I mean, but it is Florida.
I don't know. I will say this: Blooper is entertaining.
Sure, but so is the one for the Philadelphia Phillies. He looks weird too.
There was
The
one
Maniac or
game. I think the
whatever.
game we were watching via Zoom.
Yeah.
We were watching, and Bloopers shows up in like
Night vision
full
goggles,
gunny suit or a
ghillie
ghillie
suit.
suit.
Yeah.
He's got a full on ghillie suit.
He's showing up in
standing-
different areas of the stadium,
he's-
like sneaking on people.
He's standing right behind the home plate, like he's standing beyond the plate. He's standing he's standing in the stands, but he's like standing there just completely still with these night vision goggles on. It was great.
He'd be like laying on the dugout, top of the dugout, like just laying down. Like, what is Blooper doing?
Yeah, there was one point where they panned over and the batter was standing there like watching signs and out of nowhere you just see Blooper just start to raise up like this, like
he had no
think
fans. He had nothing to do.
But right now, no fans.
I
Do you think they're still using that? Like
the mascot?
The mascots, right?
yes, yeah. Well, he's safe for anybody else. That thing's got air conditioning.
Do you-
I mean, ultimately,
Do you think the air conditioning unit drips?
Yes. Yeah, full on. Well, that's why it's such a large thing. It's got a bag that collects like a colostomy.
Why is Blooper leaving a trail of wet? He's just gross now. Is he a slug? Is that what he is? Like a slug?
I know this is definitely funnier the second time around.
A snail without a shell? Is that what the hell he is?
Okay. All right.
Speaking of a snail without a snail, or whatever you
A
said.
snail without a shell.
Let's talk
That
about-
is easily the hardest segue I've ever heard.
Let's talk about
Speaking of
a
games,
cock without a game.
that's the
You know what I'm
Auburn
saying?
one, right?
Yeah, I think this might be the Auburn one.
Yes.
The one win out of the 2 that y'all got this season.
I appreciate it. You told me you'd bring it to me.
I did.
I've been tortured by losing to Auburn for
Years.
ever since we don't get to play them every year.
Yeah. What is that?
And I've
It's
been-
every
It's like 4. it
Every 4
seems.
years?
And like,
But no, we'll play Alabama. We'll play Alabama all the time.
No, that's a lie. I was about to kill you for that because y'all play Alabama like every 12 years. If you
Is
look
it-
at your schedule,
We
can't be
won in
12.
01. And then we had to play them in at least 9, then
it
10.
was 2010.
And
I
we
was at
played
that
them in
game.
9.
I was.
Melvin Ingram ran over
I got
us.
blacked out drunk there at that game.
That
That was the first game I
20,
drunk.
2010 is
Sequence
when we
Gin.
won, and Alex that worked with us at Ellett Brothers.
Yeah.
I was the only one who would make a financial bet with
I was
him.
with B Tuck whenever I got
Yep.
drunk, and they would tell you the stories that I literally was standing up and I just fell straight back.
Because you just knew you were gonna have to hear it.
Yeah.
I just hit the ground, man.
No, we do have to. We do have to interject this at Ellett Brothers. I started putting up, like, when we were really successful from, like, 9 to 15 or whatever it was. Yeah. I would put up newspapers.
That seems like a bit of a stretch.
Well, we would go.
It was a 5-year period where he was
5
like,
to 6.
5 rings. 5 times I'll beat you, and like out of what?
But I would put up newspaper clippings in our packing station, and then Trent started doing it with Clemson shit, and then we beat Alabama and go ahead and lose to Kentucky because that's just Carolina's luck.
And lose to Clemson the same year, I think, right?
Trent had the balls on him to come over here and put this big newspaper spread of South Carolina losing to Clemson on my station.
Oh, he was pissed.
Oh, from then on out,
he
was
tore
war.
it down. He was like, "Who messed with my box?"
But see, at the same time, we were winning national championships in baseball, so that was everywhere.
He was thinking baseball and football was the same, and I'm trying to let him know, like,
baseball is much more prestigious.
Like, I'm like,
how many?
I think and equestrian is what y'all winning at too, maybe.
Equestrian, there were some
they
gymnastics,
were good at that.
maybe
soccer,
but
now.
football
Soccer,
is not South Carolina sport. That's just
I never equated the two.
I mean, but every South Carolina fan has. Y'all
during,
go to these tailgates and hope for the same things over and over again.
But it was during that time. It was during that time from
the time is still here.
From like 10 to 11 and stuff.
Yeah.
We're winning national championships back to back. We're beating Clemson.
That happened one time. Don't say it happened back to back like it's happened repeatedly.
2011.
We played for 3 years in a row.
But it only happened twice.
Played for the championship.
That's like saying LeBron and Michael Jordan are the same thing. Like, every time Jordan went, he won. LeBron didn't.
And we hold 24
thing.
NCAA tournament records. Including the longest consecutive winning streak in postseason history in the NCAA.
But it's not in football.
No, but I'm talking about baseball now.
But that's what we get to. That's where that flag comes
and
from.
Clemson.
We're getting back off topic. We got to get back on topic.
Because we did nothing but beat Vanderbilt like
every year.
Vanderbilt and Auburn.
Almost every year. Vanderbilt's come around.
We have like a 12-year streak on them.
Is it 12 years right now?
It's ridiculous.
I've been to a couple.
When you're a South Carolina
teams,
fan, you think
games.
of stuff like that. You like, yo, we beat Vanderbilt that many times right now.
I can't look at Georgia Tech and tell you how many times they've beaten Notre Dame. I have no idea. Or
y'all put up a good fight against Clemson now.
For a quarter.
Well, now South Carolina went and took their best wide receiver.
That's true. You know what though?
What do y'all feel about that college portal thing? That I like it.
I love it.
Yeah,
I like it. If a team needs me, I can go and be on that team.
South Carolina wouldn't have a team right now if it were not for that transfer portal.
Bro, that's so good. I feel like that is one of the innovative things that can happen in football.
I think that's
now only if they would get paid.
Too.
Because
I agree
the
with
people
that
can, you got to think about it. The people that can enter that portal are the people that should be getting paid because they know their worth.
Did you hear this? The guy who was y'all's quarterback before Trevor Lawrence got there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he moved, right?
Yeah,
he went to,
him and Ryan Helinski are now at Northwestern and competing head to head.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He gotta be Ryan. He gotta be Ryan. I'm just letting them know.
People making side bets.
Yeah, you gotta be Ryan, man. That's just too easy.
The dude's a ball player. I hate that he went to.
All right, so that we'll get back on topic.
Okay.
So, what were we saying about this week? Was this? I think we were talking about it. Maybe it was off show, but it's been a long week. It was emotionally just ups and downs. I guess first I want to talk about. I think the. I don't know. What do I want to talk about? I tell you what, Desmond's going to be in here in a few minutes. So we're going to have Desmond join us after the break. But I think ultimately, before we get into the politics and everything that went on, because he probably may want to talk about it too.
Oh yeah, he'll love it.
I never got to talk with Desmond, so this will be fun.
Yeah. I want to do sort of an in memoriam for at least as a Braves fan what we lost this week. Henry Hank Aaron passed away January 21st. Yeah, Hammer and Hank. It's kind of, I knew how old he was, and I knew that, his time was limited. I had read in an article just last week that he had gotten his COVID shot, and I was like, oh, thank God he's not going to be one of the ones that we lose to COVID. And I still haven't heard what it was he ultimately passed away from.
Oh, man, I don't want to hear it.
I know.
That was his demise.
Here's the crazy thing. In 23 seasons, he ultimately only played baseball for 23 seasons professionally. He was invited to the All-Star game 25 times.
That's crazy.
25 times.
And his final minor league game was in the city of Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah. And he was the winner of 3 Golden Gloves, which for being a remarkable outfielder too. All-time current records that are still held. Runs batted in. He's still in first place. 2,297 runs batted in. 1,477 extra base hits. That's first place record. 6,856 total bases that he gained. That is a first place record. 755 home runs, of course. Beat
Babe Ruth.
Yeah, Babe Ruth,
And
but
it
he's
was
only
Barry
second to
Bonds.
Barry Bonds. Yeah.
Mhm. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I got a good, awesome story that ties right into the political side with Hank Aaron.
Oh yeah.
So he was on Johnny Carson's late night show.
Yeah.
Back in the day when Nixon was president.
Okay.
And so he had just beaten Babe Ruth's home run or something like that. He had just some milestone. I can't remember which one it was. And he's out there playing outfield and gets a call that the president wants to speak to him
While he's playing outfield.
While he's playing outfield, and he's like, "Well, I told him tell the president to hold, and I'll come to the
is
phone."
that a distraction? What he had a bet on the line or something?
Well, what it was is finally he goes back to the dugout, gets on the phone. The president invites him to the White House. He didn't make it to the White House with Nixon because Nixon resigned.
Right.
Literally
That's
that
crazy.
day.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Wow.
he did eventually, go to the White House multiple times, but it was Nixon inviting him, and then Nixon that day or
that's crazy.
whatever resigned.
Yeah, he hit that 715th home run, which passed Barry Bonds on April the 8th, 1974. Apparently, my father was in attendance at that game.
When did Nixon leave? Because that might have been the occasion.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. We can look that up. We have the
I thought
ability
that
to
was
do that.
pretty crazy. And that your father was there for that home run.
That's what he said.
You're gonna do it today, boy.
Yeah. What else? 3,771 hits. That's third place in all of Major League Baseball. 2,174 runs, which is a tie for fourth in all of Major League Baseball. And, of course, 755 home runs. That's second behind Barry Bonds. So, absolutely incredible. And here's the thing. Not 3 weeks ago was he literally out campaigning for Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. Like, he was out campaigning to help turn Georgia blue. So, I mean,
And talking about civil rights, he had to go through all this racist shit especially when he was coming up to beat Babe Ruth's record.
Yep.
Had to deal with all these people. I mean, true legend.
Are you talking about 755, right?
Yeah.
July 20th, 1976.
When did Nixon? We'll look up when Nixon actually resigned as well. One of the things I think that winds up being emotional for me with Hank Aaron is that when other teams start doing the thing that really brought a tear to my eye, and it's still hard to deal with, but both the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta United soccer teams have retired or will retire the number 44 jersey specifically. Yeah, they join with the Atlanta Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers because Hank Aaron ended his career with the Brewers back in Milwaukee because he started in Milwaukee and he ended in Milwaukee. So utmost respect to Hank Aaron and what he meant to the city of Atlanta.
And he'll be missed on broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would always be on there.
Yeah, that's
August 8th, 1974.
August 8th, 1974.
So when a home run hit, then...
Trying to see his last. Okay, so his final home run, number 755, came on July 20th, 1976, playing the Milwaukee Brewers in front of only 10,000 spectators off of Dick Drago in the bottom of the seventh inning after Drago had just given up another home run to first baseman George Scott. So, but yeah, Hank Aaron's his 715th home run came on April 8th, 1974, off of Dodgers Al Downing. So another fantastic pitcher who gave up that one. That was in the fourth inning. So Hank Aaron, of course, that was on what, Thursday or Friday? Was it Friday?
I think it was Friday.
So it was the 22nd. I apologize.
Because was I the one who broke that to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because I just thought, and you were like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I think.
Yeah, y'all broke a lot of news on my phone before, like CNN and stuff. Like they was way.
Well, I
off.
don't know how I got on top of that, but I did. I found it.
Crazy thing is I sent it to somebody else, and they live in Atlanta, and he and I played baseball together, and it was he was like no, there's no way.
There was a young rapper that died this morning, like late this morning.
Really?
And 18 Vino. Like whenever I seen it, I was looking at it and. Like I got up to pee and something just told me to check my phone, and whenever I seen it, I was like, man, I hope this is just you know, some gimmick type stuff.
Or a mistake.
But it says he lost to gun violence, and he was from Fairfield, man. You know how close Fairfield is to Chapin, so it's like crazy.
Damn.
Well, we also lost Don Sutton earlier in the week. Don Sutton, most people know if you've ever watched the Braves when they were on TBS nationally. I mean, everyone in the entire country watched the Braves.
Yeah.
I mean,
TBS at one point in time.
Yeah, TBS was across the country, and it was just Braves games got aired on it.
It was
if you didn't know this, I know it might be symbolized as racist, but
it's not. I don't
think so.
They said, you know, the
tomahawk chop.
The tomahawk.
Yeah, it's just a war chant. But Don Sutton was born in Clio, Alabama on April 2nd, 1945. Hall of Fame pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Anaheim Angels. As a Braves fan, he was a broadcast Hall of Famer, color and play-by-play announcer. He had 3,570-something strikeouts. Unbelievable.
That is insane.
His rookie year, he had 209 strikeouts, the most in the National League pitcher since 1911's Phillies pitcher Grover Alexander. The Dodgers retired his number in 1998, so Don Sutton is the only number retired in Dodgers history that doesn't have a Brooklyn background to him.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like the number of players that have come through Los Angeles and Brooklyn, like Don Sutton to this day, and this could be incorrect now, but at least, you know, when his number was retired, he was one of the only Dodgers in history to have his number retired that didn't come from Brooklyn. It's crazy.
Dang.
Just crazy. So
you wouldn't think a lot of like people in like New York City would be able to play baseball.
They love it though.
But back in the day, it was different. It was more land to play baseball. Now, if I look at New York City, I'm not seeing a lot of baseball fields.
Oh, dude, I'm sure even back then there was stickball and broken windows left.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like stickball was a thing back in the day.
I think one of the craziest things is with baseball in New York City. So New York had the Mets and the Yankees. They had the Dodgers.
But the
at
import,
one point.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And then you just go up the street a little ways to Massachusetts. You've got the Boston Red Sox, and it used to be the Boston Braves, and you know, so you go down to Washington, you had the Washington Senators. I mean, there was so much baseball within like 200 miles, 250, 70 miles maybe, but there was just a lot of baseball. Philadelphia,
it's pure Americana.
Yeah, Philadelphia was right there. Pittsburgh's only another 300 miles the other way.
Yeah.
I think it took a lot longer for the South to truly embrace baseball outside of the collegiate level.
Sure.
When it came down to it.
I mean, but even in Columbia, like, if you go to a Fireflies game, 90% of the team is Hispanic.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Like, this is facts. Like, and those boys be out there slinging.
Yeah, dude. Ronald Acuna Jr. He's from Argentina or. Gosh, I don't want to mess this man up. He has his home run derby bat one year was his country's flag. Where's Ronald Acuna Jr. from?
Venezuela.
Is that where Ozzy Albies is from?
I'm not sure. I think Ozzy may be. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up.
Then you get someone like Nick Markakis out there, and you're like, well, he's got to be
They like you think like the people that is black are black, but it's not. It's Hispanic.
Dude, if you see
Ronald really dark skin,
just look like a normal like black dude, but as soon as he come up there, he's like, yo, hablo.
Yeah, I can't speak. No, I love it.
Has some like dude who like just sitting there. He's like, he's very happy to be here today.
Yeah. That's funny.
They last year before the season started, before all the COVID hit. That was one of the things they said is that with Acuna, he's been working on his English as well. So
well, they interact with the fans a lot, man. I like the Fireflies theme. Like I like what they got going on. I just feel like it could have been a better name than the Fireflies. We should have just stood.
Ultimately, so the history behind or why the Fireflies are named the Fireflies. So national, the Congaree National Swamp. It was a monument, and then it was a park, a monument. Now it's a national park. it has around August, and this is fact, around the end of towards the middle to the end of summer. If you go out there, you will see like the most unbelievable, like in sync fireflies lighting up. So that's why the Columbia fireflies.
Okay.
That's where
I would have rather been the Sandlappers.
Sandlappers.
You know why they called South Carolina's called the Sandlapper State, right?
Let me know why.
Because people's stomach used to hurt back in the day, and they would go lick the sand.
And it worked.
They kept doing it.
But I'm saying it, so it had to work, right?
I know people who eat clay. That white clay?
What?
You ever seen people do that?
I've seen it like on like I think it's like Discovery Channel where they make clay pies and they like actually eat the clay.
I worked somewhere where this lady swears to God, and there was like two other ones like, oh yeah, that's normal. Like, no, this woman's eating white clay.
That's not normal.
They're eating dirt.
Yeah, you eating dirt.
Legit.
Okay. Hey, let's take a break real quickly. This is the All About Nothing podcast. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with Desmond's going to join us, and we'll get back into discussing the politics of the week and everything that went on. So we will be right back. Thank you very much, Neek the Geek, our engineer and producer for the All About Nothing podcast. We'll tell you more details about G.O.T Sound Studios coming up after the break. Hey, everyone. I want to take a quick moment to mention one of our new sponsors, thepaintedmoment.com. That's thepaintedmoment.com. Check this out. Have you ever taken a photo with your phone or digital camera that would look amazing as a watercolor canvas painting? Well, now there's a website ready to take your photo and turn it into digital painted moments. This is how it works. Visit thepaintedmoment.com, follow the instructions, and your digital photo will be enhanced and returned to you with links on where you can have an image printed to canvas or whatever else you'd like to do with it. We've already got a couple of these enhanced photos hanging around the house, and trust me, you'll love what comes out. Thepaintedmoment.com. Create a painted moment in time from your digital photos. Thepaintedmoment.com. Seriously, check them out today. Thepaintedmoment.com. All right, welcome back to the All About Nothing podcast. Barrett Gruber, Trent Clark, Zach King, and we are joined today by Desmond from the another podcast, and which my dimension.
Let's just sleep on that.
Let's just sleep on that because Zach has not met Desmond before. But have you listened?
Didn't you go to Chapin?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I graduated.
Everybody go to Chapin?
Yeah.
When did you graduate Chapin?
2012.
2012. You graduated
2007.
2009?
2009, and Rugrats
91.
came around in 1991, August the 11th.
Man.
For those of y'all that don't know, we was arguing about cartoons.
We were.
Yeah, before we came back from break, it was there was a lot of arguing about cartoons.
Crazy.
Well, Desmond thinks SpongeBob, and add us on that. You can tweet that.
Yeah, that can be a fan question.
SpongeBob
What y'all
is
think?
gonna be the best cartoon of
Like
all
childhood era cartoon. What is it?
SpongeBob or
Wait,
Rugrats?
And I'll argue my own point. And y'all didn't even think about this, but Tom and Jerry.
Oh, I mean, if we're going
Tom
like
and Jerry was it's
Tom
a
and Jerry
classic.
is right there with
That shit's
SpongeBob.
so old that it's already.
It's so old.
Yeah.
Look, Tom and Jerry's so old that it's racist.
I love Tom and Jerry.
Bro, they're
No,
no,
understand
that it
that?
was acceptable racism.
Yeah, do you understand that's how old that cartoon
But
is?
see, Disney was the same thing. Like you look at the Mickey
Oh,
Mouse
yeah.
and cartoons and all of that. I mean, the whole look. Oh, that reminds me. We were at work and one of our bosses was like, he was talking to somebody else and he said, yep, it's duck season. I was like, rabbit season.
Wabbit.
Who said that?
I couldn't help myself. It
You
was,
know, they have Walt Disney on record being racist several times.
Oh yeah,
Especially
Song of
towards
the
Jewish
South.
people.
Anti-Semitic, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also
Oh, yeah.
supposedly frozen underground.
I know you remember Thomas.
Oh my god.
Thomas.
Wait,
Thomas.
Desmond, hold on.
Yeah.
Did you watch Dragon Ball Z?
No.
Never.
But who did? When you walked
No,
in,
I was gonna say
when
if you knew
walked
Mr.
in
Popo.
Nick's room, when
Oh,
you walked in Nick's room back in the day, what he had on TV?
Nick was always watching Dragon Ball.
Okay.
I never I just
Okay.
it's one I can't get into anime.
Oh, I thought I was gonna catch him.
I was gonna ask if you knew who Mr. Popo was because clearly
Yeah, I know who Mr. Popo is, and I know the whole conspiracy.
it's
behind that
like
too.
the most racist shit ever.
Yeah.
We talked
It's
about that
tough.
already.
Yeah.
Mr. Popo. We ain't got to go to that.
Trevor, you brought it up today.
I know.
I said I got stickers. He's like, they're probably all Mr. Popo.
That's exactly what you said.
I was like, not even one.
He has worked on labeling you all day,
Mhm.
all day long.
Breast milk.
That's how it is, man. It's labels with him.
He gave me this towel and tried to shit on me with that.
That's right. I did. It's all for you though.
Oh, jeez.
Next time I get some Susto gear, I'm keeping that shit.
How has your life been, man? This week has been crazy. A lot of people died this week.
A lot of people have been dying over the past year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about not having to hear Trump no more?
It's a breath of fresh air.
Isn't it?
It's like I just want to go back to hating the president at a normal amount. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for like legitimate like policy issues.
Yeah, like oh,
I disagree with
I
this.
not because you tweeted something at 2 a.m. that
No,
people
no.
just didn't like.
I always find myself going like, what stupid shit is,
There it is.
this is normal? Like, what's going
that's
on?
what the world doesn't understand right now. Is like the things that he has said and does just isn't like normal, and we're starting to feel like it's normal that a president is tweeting certain and saying stupid shit.
Well, and that's the craziest thing was like when he would say something that was completely off the wall. Like I would always do like a gut check. It was always like, if Obama said something like this. They would have flipped out completely. If Obama had suggested that we build a wall to keep Mexicans out, it would have been like, oh, yeah,
No, Obama wore a tan suit and got shit on.
Exactly.
A tan
used a selfie
suit.
stick. Used a selfie stick. Got crapped on for it. Like,
and then when he's retired, he goes sail or like windsurfing, and people flip out. They're like, why is he out there windsurfing? It's like, come on.
It's like all of the former presidents meet up and have like a meeting and they all have fun.
Yeah.
And then they don't include this guy at all.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be the guy that's not invited to the cookout.
Yeah,
Like, that's where you're at right now.
Yeah, and he's not going to be invited to jack shit.
Yeah.
Like whenever the inauguration was done, Biden wasn't there yet, but you had Obama, Bush W, and then you had Clinton sitting there all talking about how we're gonna.
They hang out. Like I'm not saying they hang out on the weekends,
come
but
on.
they have it. They do. You do see them together.
Say it, Barrett. Yeah. Say what everybody wants you to say.
What do you want us to say, Trent? What?
Bush has a crush on Michelle Obama.
I've heard that.
Well, all the pictures of him
he'd be like, yo.
He is very quick to find her. He is very quick to come right to her.
Michelle always gives me gum.
Michelle fine.
Am I sitting beside her?
Michelle fine.
I know it's 6 feet, but I gotta get close to Michelle. He found Michelle.
If it starts raining, I need help with that poncho.
Once again.
So I want to start out with
Bernie
Biden's speech.
Don't nobody want to talk to me.
I didn't even listen to it because for me, it ain't about like liking Biden.
Yeah.
It's about just blatantly just disliking this guy's like, we're not, a lot of us aren't on record going, I really love Biden. And all
Yeah,
this.
right.
No, a lot of us didn't say that. We
100%.
said
But
we
we
hate
do
this
know.
guy so much
Yeah.
that we want him gone. He got to go.
Yeah.
Biden ain't the best. He's just way better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I truly wonder though. I wonder if Biden was really the only one that could have defeated Trump.
Hands down.
Like, because
Yang.
that was something that like
feel
when
like
they
Yang
started
could've.
running polls.
Yang definitely could have.
Yang
think so?
definitely could've.
Well,
Definitely.
if I'm talking about going toe to toe, I think even Bernie could have done it because Bernie'd be like, "I'm sick of your shit." Like,
Yeah.
I get it.
I can definitely see Bernie.
Like-
Bernie or Yang.
I
mean, imagine how that debate would have gone with Trump cutting Bernie off or Yang.
He wouldn't have had it.
No,
Yeah.
Bernie wouldn't have had that.
no.
I think socialism scares people too much.
but it's not
So
even
that's like-
socialism.
So
Like,
like
I
Bernie
hate that
wants just
word. I wish we would have left that one in 2020.
the culture that we're in makes us hate the word socialism.
Even though it's
Because when you think about it, like
democratic socialism.
even being a Democrat is very radical.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of other countries. Like
What do you
just
do?
being a
Help
Democrat.
people.
Like,
Yeah.
but him being the person that he is wanting free this, free that, quote unquote, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That scares people. So
Yeah.
they go, oh, you're a socialist.
Yeah.
Like, I said I'm a socialist, not a communist.
Yeah,
God,
exactly.
Give me a break.
exactly. That was one of the things that somebody said is like, yeah, but socialism leads to communism. It's like, no,
No.
sometimes bad socialism leads to fascism, and then
Yeah.
fascism leads to
Exactly.
But that's not even the issue. Like if they look around, we have roads, we have police, we have fighter fighters, we have healthcare, we have all of these things that are already part of a socialized. It's not democratic socialism in the idea that we want to become a socialist nation and then eventually the government take over all corporations.
Well, and,
We just don't want corporations to take over our government.
and then
And that's what's happening.
It is.
it's
That's what's happening.
It is what is on. It has been the status quo for years.
And under no circumstance did anyone ever look at Biden and go, that guy is more of a socialist Democrat or a more liberal, whatever.
Yeah, no.
He's a corporatist. He is full on a corporatist. Like he will take money, or he was the one responsible for, well, not him, but he was part of Obama's administration when Bush handed them the idea that, well, we're gonna have to bail out all these banks, and they went right along with it. When I was saying, let's just let the banks fail. Something else will come in.
Same thing with the car companies.
But that's so. I read
else
earlier,
is
like I
coming
was
in.
doing my research earlier this week about how the economies look compared to Republican and Democrat, and recently it's been Republicans screwing it up, and Democrats having to bail them out.
100%.
So now with this coronavirus and everything that Trump did and all the policies and everything that he did with the health organizations, everything, Biden has to undo all that.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? And then that causes an economic boom. So now recently you have Democrats that have better GOPs compared to the Republicans.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're in so denial about it. Like it's not that big of a deal.
Because
And
it's
they
so
was
easy.
mad about the pipeline. Like Biden ran off of the pipeline.
Like
he told you he was going to do
Exactly.
it.
He told us he was going to shut
Well,
that
like,
down.
why did
The
y'all
thing-
be surprised
the
about
thing
it?
with that is like we know gasoline is limited.
Yeah.
Like let's try to do something different here.
It is that the direction you
Give
wanna keep
everybody
heading.
Teslas.
Yeah, I'll take a Tesla.
Give everybody a Tesla and
Watch
everybody
it-
be okay.
Everybody be in like a Bilo parking lot, like it dances too. Doors open. Like, fuck yeah!
I did
Keep
want
your
to.
checks. Give me the Tesla.
So I did want to play Biden's speech, or not the whole thing, but just some of what.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Yeah, this is mostly just the unity part.
To restore the soul and secure the future of America requires so much more than words. It requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy, unity. My whole soul is in this, bringing America together, uniting our people, uniting our nation. With unity, we can do great things, important things. For without unity, there is no peace, only bitterness and fury. We must end this uncivil war. We can do this if we open our souls instead of hardening our hearts.
Yeah, I think a lot of what Biden said was extremely sincere. Like I did not watching him speak. I didn't like. I can get a read off of people. I can tell when they're not being sincere. I can tell when they're lying. It's really good when you have kids, by the way. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I can't wait till my son starts.
I don't have any.
You'd be like, mother.
I know you lying, son. Get it off.
No, your mom's coming in. Come here. Tell her.
But I didn't get any insincerity from Biden. I've never gotten insincerity from Biden. I've always felt like he is exactly who you think he is, or
He
who he
seems
looks
genuinely compassionate.
Yeah.
And what I liked even more than that speech was when he was swearing in those like 1,000 people or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Virtually.
You couldn't hear him.
He couldn't hear them. But when my favorite part is what he said. He goes, everybody deserves to be treated with decency. Period. You don't know who they are. You treat them with decency. And he goes, if I have a single person working for me and I hear you say for a second, treat them without any kind of respect or decency, you're fired on the spot.
Right.
That's needed.
Yeah.
That's
Totally
100% needed. Because if you hear someone down talking somebody, especially behind their back, you don't have the kind of character that it deserves to be leading anything, being a part of someone who's leading the country.
None of our jobs have that security.
No, fuck no.
Nope.
Nobody's job that we work for right now.
I don't know. I get away with saying a lot of what I think.
Yeah, but usually you're doing it to the people's face.
That's true. I don't do it behind their back. So go ahead.
The only problem I have with what, like, I like what he said, but then there's always a question like, how?
Yeah.
Like, I can say everyone deserves this. Okay, how? How are we gonna make sure that I don't piss off you while keeping me happy?
I got a camera
you know what I'm
in
saying?
every.
I don't think it's going to come down to
place
them.
in
I don't think
there.
it's going to come. And he
I
kind of
hear
made it like
everything.
it's face to face. If he's
Because-
like, if you come to him and say something and you're talking about John Doe over there, I don't think it's going to be like, Bob called me a dickhead the other day.
Yeah.
And he's going to be like, well, tell Bob he's out or whatever. I think
I feel like they got to record it now. Like,
no.
they got cameras
I
that
think,
got
I
recording.
think it's
audio.
more in line with so with Trump's White House, you had so many leaks. I mean, there were so many people willing to go to tell the press whatever happened. And then you have ultimately, they were all tweeting because Trump had so many people that left the White House and then wrote books. I think ultimately Biden doesn't want the environment where someone's so willing to go and tell everybody else what's going on inside the White House. I think the idea is, yes, America's business is being done here, and we're handling things, but like don't create an environment where this is going to get out to somebody else and it's going to make somebody else look bad. They don't want it. They want to keep everything civil.
You have people go talk about what's happening in the White House. It's just what is happening, and is it worthy to be written about? How do you think we know that Dick Cheney was really running a lot of the show when it came to the Bush administration?
It was
because people would come and talk about it,
right,
and let you know. How did we know that Monica Lewinsky and Bill had a thing going on? Somebody come out and start talking.
Because Monica told Monica told Linda Tripp. Linda Tripp then leaked she was recording her phone calls.
But also at the same time, there was definitely people being like, "Dude, that's weird." Like,
yeah.
Why are they?
But you gotta understand, it's like most people that work for like the White House, they're used to like that press life. So everything you say, they record it. Like even if you're like on a phone call and like a conference call, they're recording it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna twist anything you say.
I think that show Designated Survivor does a good job of showing you like how shit could go south real quick on a bad decision being made. Like,
well, purely based on the idea that anybody can twist it. This is Sean Hannity from the same night that Biden gave that speech.
Do have breaking news. We're following tonight. Violence erupting again in Portland and Seattle.
Yeah. So did anyone hear about this?
No, I'm not a fan of Sean Hannity.
Yeah. No, trust me. Neither am I.
What's a fan?
He used to come into my job all the time.
Really?
What?
And he tips phenomenally.
Really?
I mean, run up a $3,000 tab and leave you $2,000.
Wow.
But still,
he doesn't seem.
But he's a prick.
Yeah. I was gonna say. So
I'm about to say, Desmond, I know you had to be on your master
fall off
shit.
The cliff some point.
Man, it sucks.
He was on his yes, master.
I mean,
what can I get for you?
A server sees him come in, and you're like, "Yo, I want him." I don't like him. I'm a Democrat, but
yeah, but that's also a man who had nuts.
Well, I'm not actually a Democrat, but
I mean, I've done the busboy stuff, so I know what time it is. I feel you.
It's amazing to me how he can come on and do his show, and after listening to a speech like Biden gave, and then it is completely turned around. This was his review.
Well,
Go ahead.
Before you play it, he had to pay you to even care about what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Other than that, as a human being,
that's from experience. Like if he didn't know Sean Hannity and just knew him off of TV and he walked in, you would probably treat him different. Other than you knowing he tips good.
I'll tell you right now, I'd take his order with a smile.
Hold on, did he?
If he's gonna leave me $2,000.
Oh, he tips the bill usually. Yeah.
But is he an asshole? Like soon as you sit
down,
down,
you know he's the asshole at the table. You know it's those.
Well,
people.
you just know who I know him from TV, so I know who he is.
Yeah.
But
that was my thing. Does he act like an asshole when you're serving him?
Nah.
And Tucker Carlson's ass.
He usually brings in about 9-10 people, and they ball out, have fun, have a good time.
Yeah,
you know. I know how you feel deep down, so I don't care. I'm gonna take this bread. So.
Sean Hannity's one of those radio guys that I never met when I worked in radio. Like I met Neil Bortz, I met Rush Limbaugh, I met these.
Damn, you met Rush.
It's all an act.
The liberal media's at it again.
It's all from what I can tell, the lifestyle that he lives and how he interacts with people off the air. It's an act.
Be crazy.
That's like Alex Jones went off the rails saying all that
definition of inciting.
Alex Jones had to sit in court and say, "Look, this is an act.
Real. Yeah.
This isn't real. This is an act. I am merely doing this because these people are dupe enough that I can get their money."
And he's out there like campaigning and like with
screaming
the
from
bullhorn. Bro, that is scary.
It's
that you'll go that crazy for it.
Yeah,
like it's one thing for me to do it on TV, for me to get out here and actually protest with you.
Neil Bortz in Atlanta was nationally syndicated as a conservative talk show host from like the 90s until like mid 2000s. As far as I could tell, complete act.
I mean, think about it though. Like so,
those conservative. But
they
puppets.
love them though.
There's no integrity, at all.
No, I get paid.
Yeah,
like There's no way you can tell me that Tommy Lahren believes the things that comes out of her mouth.
For sure.
What about Candace Owens? What about Candace?
She is really like that. Candace believes that.
That's crazy.
She was one of the people.
That's crazy.
Candace is like that.
Those people got Candace, and her ass is just warped.
And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to make you go, oh, well, then it's an act. It's just theatrics, whatever.
No. But for you to say that
assholes.
you believe that Rush is an act is crazy to me, because the way the people talk about Rush when they actually get online with him, they're like, Rush, I've been listening to you ever since '86. I've been listening to your words. Like, they go crazy, and I'm like, yo, they really love this man.
It is because, for the most part, those people that play the role of the conservative they can rope those people. They can rope Republicans in. They can rope evangelicals in. They already know that for the most part they are easily trainable.
Well, that's the whole thing too. We were talking about the socialism, people being scared of that. If that fails and it doesn't work, then they're talking about your Jesus, and they're going to come after that. They're trying to take it. They're taking it away, and you're just like, okay, dude, who is even remotely said that?
Don't use Christianity to.
We talked about this last week.
God gave me free will.
Right.
So for you to feel like I don't deserve free health care, or you feel like anything short of humanity, that's wild.
I had sent you that video a while back. It was Republican Jesus, and he's going around. He's like, Master, this lady comes up to him, and he's like, Master, I'm sick, and you can heal me. He's like, I could, but how much money do you really have?
Exactly.
It's that kind of thing.
That's those radical. What the hell is that?
Exactly.
And people, when they tell you that it doesn't work, you can point to all these first world countries that it absolutely works in, including one that's right above us.
I'm thinking like this, like if let's say I work all week, get a paycheck, 2 weeks, whatever, and I have these taxes taken out, and they say, okay, well, you had it taken from the state, the federal, Social Security, medical, whatever. Where's the money going?
Yeah.
That's all I want to know. Like, we already paying the taxes anyway, so why don't you just actually use the money for what we want it to go to?
Collapse all that Medicaid and Medicare shit.
Yeah.
Put it into one. Be like healthcare. There it is. There we go.
And in no way, shape, or form should your health care be tied to whether or not you have a job.
Right.
It's insane.
And your health care is really control of your credit score. Let you don't pay a fucking bill.
That's true. They do.
Let you don't pay your fucking bill. They will ruin your life. Like,
and the fact that a lot of people don't even know this too. They legally have to accept whatever amount you can give them.
That's right.
If they bill you and they're like, you owe us $20,000, you're like, you're getting $5 for the rest of my life, I guess.
Yeah.
Every month. And they legally have to take that. Yeah. And they can sit there on the phone and tell you that's not the minimum. You're like, no,
that's illegal.
So you're refusing to accept my payment. That's what I'm hearing right now.
People are taking out loans to pay for their medical bills. People are deciding to not take an ambulance because it costs too much. Like, that is like, imagine bleeding like out your arm right now and be like, Desmond, take me to the hospital because I don't want the ambulance to come get me.
You're talking about an ambulance. Let you try to ride on a helicopter.
I'm just saying, like, just think about like that.
Do you know how much a helicopter costs?
I don't know, but
you don't want to know.
My brother
at least
was 10 before.
The lease is 10.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. People like, especially doctors, still want to make money. Corporations still want to make money.
Yeah.
In Canada, when you go to the hospital, you're going to get help no matter what.
Right.
But if you pay extra, you get extra.
I'll give you one better. You go to Mexico. Let's say you go on vacation to Mexico. You go to Cancun. You walk into one of their clinics because you've got a migraine. You get treated.
Yep.
They don't ask you for an insurance card. They don't ask you for. They don't ask for how much money you have on you. You get treated because they have a national healthcare system. They have universal health care.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok of a girl that was basically like, she got hurt overseas. I forgot where she was, but she kept trying to ask the workers in the hospital, like, what do I pay? Like, do y'all need my healthcare card? Like, what? And they were like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're just here to help you. And that's what hospitals should be. Like, it shouldn't be a lady that rolls in with a little cart saying, hey, you got that credit card number?
Yeah, for real.
Like, what in the world?
Yeah, that's bad.
You go to get your medication, and they're like, your RX number's changed. This isn't working, and you're just like, fuck. Instead, you be like, here's your medicine. Go home and be good. Be healthy.
And they won't give you the treatment until they know you're insured.
And see, that's one of the things about the United States where we treat people's symptoms. We don't treat their health. We treat the symptoms.
And that's why a lot of people get sent home and die later.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's so difficult to like have patients that have cancer, because that we ultimately know there are things in our health or in our history that we know will eventually potentially lead to us having cancer. But if we can treat those things prior to that, or if we have the correct testing available, that it doesn't cost an astronomical amount of money, then we can eradicate cancer just through better health, because we have a system in place that would do that.
They don't actually want us to be healthy.
No, of course not.
That's like, so many other countries have banned like certain chemicals and ingredients in food products that America just hasn't even attempted to do.
Right.
Like Red 40 example, like is in almost everything, like a bag of chips. A bowl of cereal has
like
so much.
5.
Yeah, like why is every other country banned this? Because it gives them cancer and it gives you, these bad health symptoms.
Well, a lot of them aren't sponsoring like the biggest like sports things that's going on. So that comes into play too.
Why they actually don't care about keeping us healthy?
No, of course not.
And then they put a whole bunch of shit on Google everywhere to confuse us even more.
Well, and then tie in that
Google
people feel like if you have socialized healthcare, that you're telling them what to do.
Right.
And I think that's the crux of it, is like, no one's telling you what to do.
No.
Like, we
Absolutely.
just want you to be okay, and you know what? We're going to keep your bigoted ass healthy.
Yeah.
How
Exactly.
does that sound?
We're going to make you live another day so you can spout off some
I think
crazy nonsense.
People at heart think they're compassionate, but don't really know what compassion is.
Right.
Like that's what that means. Like if I have to pay an extra $20 every paycheck to make sure that we have free healthcare, whatever. If I have to pay an extra
Perfectly
$200,
fine with it.
whatever, because I could be helping somebody's grandma,
or
that could be Trent's kid, or that could be your kid.
That is the whole
cares?
idea behind it anyway.
That's what Medicare
everything's
is,
being
right?
pulled together to take care of the people that need to be taken care of.
And if you're paying $180 every month out of your paycheck for health insurance, but instead you just pay that in taxes, not a fraction of that.
Exactly.
You're
A
hurting
third.
everybody.
Everyone basically would pay a third if we just took Medicare and dropped the condition that you have to be 65 years old.
Yeah.
If everyone paid into Medicare, which, by the way, Medicare is one of the most efficiently run healthcare systems on the planet. It has
100%.
less over the last 5 years. It has had less than a 1% overhead. That's an administration cost. It's run extremely efficiently. I worked in Medicare for 14 years.
And
As soon as you put that bill in and you say you got Medicare, it's no questions asked.
Well, no. The problem that comes after Medicare, it's not Medicare itself. It's the insurance companies. They will deny claims, or a doctor's office will say you were inpatient when you were outpatient, or something like that.
Because they're trying to get paid too.
My mom
man.
struggles with that too. She's on Medicare, but we'll have to fight tooth and nail with doctor's office or an insurance company.
See, my son's name is hyphenated. So with it being hyphenated, they'll say just one last name and won't say the other last name.
Right.
And then they'll bill them. But if they know it's hyphenated, then it's clear.
Wow. Well, yeah, so Sean Hannity kept his nonsense going.
And today, after a historic and groundbreaking 4 years in the White House, President Trump departed Washington, D.C. A huge crowd awaited him all along his drive back to Mar-a-Lago.
Like, the dude couldn't even talk about Biden. Like it had to be the
CNN
opening.
was doing the same thing, though.
Did they?
Oh, my
No.
No, CNN was.
Republicans
they were,
love to deflect from the point.
No.
This is
but
Biden.
Biden's getting
but I
sworn
was-
in.
yeah.
Like over here, like.
But it wasn't that. I'm saying the week coming up to it. It was more. It wasn't more of the inauguration. It was more of last days of Trump.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? The news stories was the last days.
We sick of your shit.
But I'm saying though, he's still getting the news coverage because the news coverage is still biting on that type of stuff.
Of course. And honestly, if Trump was down there saying something now, they would be reporting on it.
100%. That's what I'm. And that's scary.
And that's funny to think about when they took away his Twitter.
He don't need Twitter. All he has to
doesn't
do
have
is find a
freedom of speech.
newspaper.
Bitch, you can go stand up on that podium and speak your truth, and Fox News will have you playing 24/7.
He can have his own.
I just think
Fox.
it's funny.
He can-
Like
Oh,
the
go ahead.
Republican mindset is so fragile. So
Oh, yeah.
you say that you want businesses and corporations to have all this power. So when Twitter says, "I don't want you on my platform.
Exactly.
I don't want you in my business," isn't that the power that you just gave them?
Exactly.
Now I'm taking it from you. Now you're taking away my first. No, I'm not taking away your First
No,
Amendment.
no.
Right?
He's
You
fully
can-
welcome to go
you
stand
can
on
still-
the box.
Yeah, you want to go stand on the
State House steps, go ahead. We don't care.
When they signed along with Section 230, they was okay with it. You know what I'm saying?
Now they want to take it away.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Wait a minute, this isn't working for me now.
Take my freedom from me.
They can tell me what not to do, what apps not to download. Like, come on.
Don't take away Parler.
My political party freed the slaves.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I had another argument on Facebook, and I hate my arguments on Facebook.
I don't argue on Facebook.
It was
you gotta get in there and get away. You can't stay there.
Oh, I'm on there, y'all.
I know. Desmond get them hot at least once a week.
Here's the problem with what I do on Facebook. I will come out with something that there's no way they can argue against it, and like I will say like somebody mentioned how there was it was an AJC article out at Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and basically and they I can't even remember what it was they were talking about, but this guy argues the fact that there were the Republicans were the party that freed the slaves. And every time somebody says that, I get irritated because he says something like, that they talk about all these Democrats that own slaves and things like that, and I have to interject. I go they were Democratic Republicans.
Bingo.
This is you keep jumping on this word Democrat at the beginning of what they were, but they were Democratic Republicans, and then we talked about the thing that Lindsey Graham mucked up, where he was talking about how after the Civil War and with Ulysses S. Grant's election that in an agreement to remove the Union troops from the South that basically halted and complete stop of Reconstruction, that was what ushered in segregation, and that was literally, and it's true. That's literally what undid all of what was going on good in the South, because there were Union troops that were allowing for the votes to have. There wasn't there was limited amount of vote suppression because or interfering with the elections, and then it was the South Carolina, what was it, South Carolina, Louisiana, and I can't remember what the other state was, but either way, it doesn't matter. But they basically negotiated to remove the Union troops, and when the Union troops were gone, we were stuck with these bigoted white people. Might have been
Mississippi
or Texas,
Mississippi and South Carolina, boy, they've been the last.
No, Mississippi's the worst, man. They didn't ratify the 13th Amendment until 2007, and you're just like,
dude, that doesn't surprise me. Also, too, I want to say this: a lot of people like to jump on that the Republicans freed the slaves, but and then Abraham Lincoln freed. Abraham Lincoln didn't run under a political party.
Exactly.
At all.
Exactly.
At all. And then they named him a Republican at the end of it all.
They're like, yo, we think he would have been.
Also, too, that's not, and we also forgetting the rotation of the parties. They don't have the same ideals. If Abraham Lincoln was today, he probably would have been a Democrat.
And think about
probably.
It too, when
Jesus would have been a Democrat.
Yeah.
the war was going on when that amendment was passed, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So he didn't just write it down and people were just like, well, shit, I guess I have to let you go. What? That's not how it works.
Yeah, they didn't let him go as soon as those papers were signed.
Jefferson Davis, right? That was a Confederacy president.
Yeah.
He was like, no.
They're like, no. They sent a memo down, but don't worry about that one.
No.
That's not how it works.
It took ass whipping, and just like you said, it came down to, all right, well, now you have to, fight over it.
Yeah, y'all are going to figure out that.
Could you imagine being a slave at that point in time and knowing that they freed all the slaves, but your master is not going to let you be free?
Well, that's like
they
Glory.
weren't free.
Glory touched on that a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you're serving, but you're free. But they still got treated like shit the whole time, too.
Yeah.
This
is they hold on to this 1865 idea, but then they, instill Jim Crow, indentured servitude, that stuff still lingers too.
Oh, 100%.
For sure. And it's they're like, Desmond, why do you care? That's so old. I'm like, okay, so every year you celebrate 4th of July because you just told me basically that the past doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Well, but you celebrate your independence, was from 1776.
Tell me after you skip your birthday.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
The past matters here.
Look, think about it like this: Martin Luther King Jr.'s the celebration, that holiday has only been around for 35 years.
Think about.
Some states don't even recognize it.
That's what I'm saying.
I was about to say that. This girl I know from Wisconsin was telling me that
her state, she never ever like how here like it's a celebrated holiday, like kids get out of school, whatever.
Yeah.
She never got a break on that day.
That's crazy.
We still have to work on that day.
That's
I still wouldn't
wild to me.
You wouldn't work on that day.
No, it should absolutely just be across the board, like
100%.
A federal holiday.
Yep.
Federal holiday. Banks close.
Shut the day after the Super Bowl. But
I remember because he got shot in 1964.
No,
Three?
we gotta look that up.
'Cause
70.
I remember. No, he was dead in early 60s.
Are you thinking of JFK?
No, Martin Luther King Jr. Wasn't he?
Ooh, I don't know. I
I
know
don't wanna be
JFK
wrong on
was
that one.
killed in 1965. I want to
Because
say.
Martin Luther King Day fell on my dad's
April 4th, 68.
68.
68.
Okay,
Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
What then? What was? Oh, it must have been the JFK thing.
JFK was 64.
That's something I used
November-
to always ask my
November
grandparents about. Do you
23rd?
remember when that happened? And just like hearing
Shoot.
those stories and stuff like that.
I remember when like the only one that I can look at as far as time. I'm not as old as you think I am.
Bear was like, yo.
I remember where
Desmond's eyes must have got big. 'Cause
He's like,
all I
"Man."
see was, yo, I'm not as old as you think.
I wasn't gonna judge. I just wasn't here.
I remember where I was when Princess Diana died. Like that's one of the ones. I remember where I
Damn.
was when
Did she died in the 90s?
Yeah, it had to be like the early 90s, right?
97.
Oh, okay.
It was August.
Because I remember
31st,
that being on
1997.
ETV, if I remember. Dun, 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 like the yellow, like I remember that.
Yeah.
Because they were on it. They was like, yo, it was paparazzi that was the reason why she died.
I remember
if
her
I'm not
dying. I
mistaken.
don't remember what it was. My mom was crying when
It was
she
like
died. I was like,
paparazzi was following her and like
She's who?
she
Chasing
hit
her.
something,
Basically, they were chasing her,
which is
through a
crazy to even think about.
because she was with a boyfriend. She was with a guy.
a really
You're-
rich dude too.
That's what I'm saying.
The
like,
Crown didn't
it
like
should
it.
have been.
Wait, so they were saying she was sleeping with somebody else?
She
Well, no,
was.
she was
Oh,
divorced. She was
okay.
divorced at this point.
Oh.
Like,
they were
but
trying to get the inside
but
story.
they were still trying to the conspiracy is that the Crown supposedly may have had something to do with her death. Maybe somebody ran into the car in this tunnel or whatever, but there's nothing proven
Yeah, there's whole
about
things about like the photographers once the wreck happened started taking pictures of
Right.
the wreckage.
Yeah,
and
there's-
the Crown like MI6.
People
type
always
people.
coming out with a conspiracy.
Well, it
about
happened in Paris.
Well, came and
But
took.
yeah.
Well, came and took like film
Yeah.
from their cameras. And we're like, you ain't pictures of shit.
It's but like I remember the Challenger explosion. I remember Oklahoma City bombing. I remember Timothy McVeigh and I remember OJ being chased slowly through the streets
I wish I
of
was
Los
alive for
Angeles.
that.
I remember Kurt Cobain dying because all I watched was MTV as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I think the number one was Columbine for me.
For sure.
That was like the number one like thing that
That
jaw
messed-
dropped
I remember.
me.
That
I remember
That
it
messed
was.
me up. Me being in
Yeah.
school, I'm
Yeah.
like, yo,
yeah.
anybody at any point in time could just come into school and just go crazy.
Columbine was 98,
Mhm.
right?
99.
99.
Mm.
I was working at a little radio station just outside of Atlanta, a little 1,000 watt AM station that really just only covered the town that we were in.
I was about to go to middle school.
Oh wow!
And that comes full circle because the Matrix is about to come out, and they tried to blame the Matrix for the reason why they thought that they were
did not
the Matrix.
theatrically release Boondock Saints
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah, I will give COVID its due. School shootings way down.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Mass shootings way down.
You can't let angry
here's-
white kids into school.
okay.
They ain't shooting anybody.
But I still keep seeing the headlines that 4 people shot. You know, it may not be 4 people dead,
Yeah.
but a mass shooting, all it takes is 4 victims. That's it. So
Yeah.
I still feel like they're going on, and I keep hearing people talking about how they're out there buying ammunition again. They're out there
they're
buying
going
guns
crazy.
again.
That's because
And it's like,
they think people are going to take their guns away.
which is ridiculous.
I need
Joe
Obama
Biden had a
then
If you got stopped buying guns,
Joe
yeah.
Biden had a B- rating with the NRA, which is higher than Bernie Sanders' D or Elizabeth Warren's D. You know, it's
That's
ridiculous.
why they just filed for bankruptcy.
and they're going to
They
Texas.
they filed bankruptcy so they can
because they're
move to
moving
Texas
some
without
money.
cost.
They're moving some money.
what I think
That's
is
what
funny
they're
is
doing.
like if you go buy these guns and they're all registered to you, say they wanted to come take them, and they have a helicopter in the middle of the night and rappel down, they're gonna get your ass. It doesn't matter how many
Exactly.
guns you have.
They're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I mean that's
You
come-
can
know,
have your 2 biggest guns in your hands, and
They're
they're
gonna
gonna
kill
get
you.
you.
That's
You're
not
not
a
going to be able to
freedom-
use all your guns at
that
the
is
same
not
time.
a freedom thing. That's
Come
a
on,
stupidity
buddy.
thing.
You're not go gadget. Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah, you're not Doc Ock. You ain't got multiple arms flying around.
So
I don't know what's happening.
one of the coolest things. Did you watch any of the inauguration celebration that night?
Mhm.
Any of the recording?
What you feel about J-Lo?
That's fine.
Didn't see her.
Get loud. Whatever.
Didn't see her.
I liked it.
She said what she said in
I
Spanish.
didn't feel like they needed to do all that.
You know what though?
What'd she do?
She said
the-
one God.
It was
one
basically a
country, one
celebration.
people.
It was.
She
But
said
people
one God,
weren't
one
there to
people.
interact with
Something
J
like
Lo. It's different once you're at a Super Bowl and you can touch people. When you're there and you're getting loud.
Are you talking about the inauguration? Or the
Yeah,
after
her
party?
her doing she did
Our
My Country 'Tis of Thee. No, that wasn't it.
No.
But didn't she like put the
She
the
just
song?
ad-libbed at the end.
Yeah.
She promoted her record. Whatever. Hey,
Lady
you're in front of the
Gaga-
president.
Lady
No one's
Gaga
gonna.
looked
That
like
ain't.
That's
Looked
what I'm
like
saying.
She could have
J-Lo
promoted
did
that anyway.
later.
It
Like,
does
she-
no. No one's gonna buy her album. That doesn't
You don't know
matter.
that, Desmond. You don't know that.
Did anybody else?
Out of
like-
all those people that performed, no, not
Yeah.
a chance.
Was
I mean,
anybody-
John
you think-
Legend,
You
Katy
think
Perry,
everybody
Justin
came
Timberlake,
through for
no.
Garth Brooks and was like, "Yo, I
Yes.
gotta get that Garth."
Yeah. I know people that only watch
Bro,
for
when,
Garth
when
Brooks.
he was singing Amazing Grace and he came up and he's like, now I want everybody else to sing with me. I was just like, oh.
I will say I thought this was pretty cool.
Hi, I'm the lead singer from the New Radicals. The band ended over 20 years ago before our second single was even released. So when we heard that You Get What You Give was a Biden family anthem,
I thought
we
this was
pledged
cool.
if Joe won, we'd get together and play our little song, both in memory and in honor of our new president's patriot son, Beau, and also with the prayer of Joe being able to bring our country together again. Joe, Kamala, this one's for you.
And then they performed. They hadn't performed in 20 years.
Bro, I did not know that was a one-hit wonder.
I mean, it wasn't really a one-hit wonder. They could have gone on to do more, but they just broke up the band. They didn't want to. It took him away from his family. It took him away from, everybody basically agreed, as far as what was said out loud was that it was all pretty much consensual. They all.
What is the biggest one-hit wonder y'all know?
Oh.
Lil Nas X.
The biggest, I think you got to put Ice Ice Baby up there.
That's pretty high up there.
That is some one hit wonder shit.
He had Go Ninja too.
Yeah. You can't stop on Go Ninja.
Get out of here.
Come on. Even Mike Jones had another one. You know what I'm saying? So one hit wonder.
Yeah.
I would say it was that. Fuck what I say, it don't mean shit now.
No.
Fuck
So
you,
maybe.
you hoe. Don't want you back.
That is a
boy.
one-hit
Oasis, Wonderwall.
Or the Bird
What?
guy. Bird.
Hold on.
Who made that?
Oasis has like
One hit.
No.
I cannot name another one.
I will listen to like
Wonderwall.
I'll listen. Yeah, Wonderwall. Don't Look Back in Anger.
Don't know that.
If they got two, man, it's not a one hit wonder.
He said no. We
You gotta
stopping right
understand.
now.
No.
It's one hit wonder.
Also, Lil Nas X, he got a couple songs on the
Do you
charts
not
right
like
now.
Holiday?
And it sucks that it's like that.
Do
But
you
he
like
out here?
Do you like Holiday?
Huh?
Do you like Holiday? His new one?
Shit.
Yeah, I kind of.
think-
It's vibey.
Speaking
I'm
of Lil
telling you.
Nas X, Billy Ray Cyrus was a one-hit wonder. Now,
Achy Breaky Heart.
Achy Breaky Heart. People will be
That's
like,
true.
That's the biggest one.
That's true.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
His daughter put his career.
That's true.
Put it back where it needed to be.
The
That's
Nene
true.
dudes, watch me whip.
Oh my
Watch me
god.
Or from South Carolina, the Elroy dudes.
Yeah,
the
that's
Roy.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
They
Soulja
had
Boy, I
that.
only
Got to
know
be their
Soulja
biggest
Boy.
song ever. I didn't hear another Roy song.
Soulja Boy got some hits.
I promise you, there are plenty of Oasis songs. Champagne Supernova, Don't Look Back in
Okay,
Anger,
that is fair. I
Wonderwall.
do know that one.
I mean, honestly, I can put on that.
Sammy
What's the
Hagar,
story? Morning
I
Glory.
Can't Drive 55.
The Soggy Bottom. The Soggy Bottom Boys. I am a man.
You
That is
bringing
a
up
one
that
hit.
shit all the
That is a
time.
one-hit wonder.
Wait, what's their name?
The Soggy Bottom
The
Boys.
Soggy Bottom Boys.
Oh my god.
Ah,
I am a man of constant
Wait, you
sorrow.
said
Does that sound terrible? How bad does that sound, Nick?
I know
am
that's
so
gotta
sorry.
sound
A little
good.
bit of auto-tune.
You said the best one hit wonder.
The Soggy
Okay,
Bottom
best
Boys.
one-hit wonder.
Then I would go with all those dance songs. So the Cupid Shuffle, the Electric Slide.
But they came out with more than one, so it's
those
not a
don't get
one
played
hit
a lot.
wonder.
Yeah, but I never hear anything
the
from them
Cupid
people ever again.
Shuffle.
I don't even know.
Never-
who,
I've
Okay,
never-
the
know who
Electric
made it.
Slide. If you say the Electric
Or,
Slide, maybe, because I don't know what
what's
else
the guy-
they
I
made.
will be honest. I've never heard that one on the radio.
There's a
The Cupid Shuffle?
Played on the radio.
You're right. You're
Like
right.
as a request.
What's that? Right foot
Which
left
is
stomp.
crazy.
Because you would have to like park your car and dance.
Wait,
Oh, I gotta get out the car. Down,
What's it called?
down, do your thing.
right foot this time.
Oh, the
left foot, left stomp.
What is that? What is that
Electric
called?
slide.
The cha-cha slide. That's
The cha-cha
cha-cha
Cha-cha, yeah. One hit wonder. I don't even know who made that.
That is the one. That is the one hit wonder.
That's the biggest one hit wonder of all
There's
time.
a billion white girls out there going like, I like all of them.
I want them all played at my wedding.
I just like to point out he thinks there's a billion girls out there listening to this.
It might be.
Yeah, that's
Those
true.
songs.
Nick's face.
Those
Yo.
songs.
Oh.
Every time you're at a wedding or something and they start playing, everybody get on the floor, it's Cupid Shuffle. And you're just like,
Oh,
Hey, look, the
And
number
everybody
one-
knows the dance.
you know
the
why I
number
don't
one
go to
song-
weddings?
The number one song that I play at every wedding, don't matter black, white, Hispanic, whatever you are, the number one song,
what is it?
Juvenile, back that ass up.
Seriously?
I just heard it at Keith's
No
wedding for
matter
sure.
where you are, what race, they don't care. If you not playing Juvenile, back that ass up, it's over. They can be like, bro, get out of here.
So
Best one hit wonders.
My
Let's look it
pony.
up.
he's looking it up.
Juvenile got more than one hit, man.
It's
I'm
the only
telling
one
you.
I know.
No, that,
Billy
they don't
Ray
work
Cyrus,
like that.
Achy Breaky Heart. Is
Yeah.
on this list.
It's the number one. I'm telling you,
That
he's
makes
number
sense.
one. He's got to be.
That makes sense.
That's funny as hell.
It might be Chingy. Maybe Chingy.
Cisco.
Oh no, Cisco had
Cisco
Drew
is not a
Hill.
one-hit
Oh,
wonder.
I don't
He
know.
had Drew Hill before. So
Just
he
Just
can
a
never be
Friend by
one-hit
Biz
wonder.
Markie.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
a deep
Is
cut.
that
That's
only?
up there.
But he had more than that song.
Barely.
So before we get out of here, this is Newt Gingrich speaking on Sean Hannity's show on the 22nd.
I
No,
think you're seeing the hysteria of the Biden system because it's not really about Biden himself. It's this entire team around him who are radicals who believe if they could
There's your
exterminate
radicals.
the Republicans, that would be one way to get to unity. As a New York Times columnist wrote this morning, you know, if Biden really wanted unity, he could start by lynching Vice President Pence. It just gives you a sense of the
ridiculous,
ferocity
right?
and the anger
Isn't that insane? And,
What is
and
he
here's the
even
thing:
saying?
I went and looked for this
What
article.
news station was he on?
That was Fox
Sean-
News.
Sean
He was on
Hannity.
Sean Hannity's
Fox.
show. I went and looked for this article. I couldn't find it. I
They're
couldn't
not,
find
you're,
any reference.
You're not gonna find that.
But that's the crazy thing he's talking about. Like they think that Democrats are set out there to. I've said it before. I'm not super comfortable with the idea that one party holds both the legislative and the executive branch. I'm not against it. There's a little bit
Yeah.
of discomfort,
But I'm not for it either.
right? So but the idea that there are Democrats out there that just want to execute or totally eradicate all the Republicans doesn't make any sense. I don't like Donald Trump as a Republican.
Yeah,
I'd like
no.
to see him gone.
There
and
are
he
a
is.
few Republicans I like that have some really solid. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like,
Sure.
Okay, go ahead and name
Like,
a couple for me.
one of my favorite is Ben Shapiro. As much as I don't like, that probably hurts people to hear that, but he's very logical, and he makes me
I
think.
can see you being
Now,
a
he
Ben
has said
Shapiro
some-
fan.
He has said some
And-
shit that's like, you are really out of line,
but
bruh.
but it's on some shit like that. I feel like you would say too.
But he'll be like, people will ask him a question. He's like, okay, no, you can't, and here's why.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But his here's whys aren't always
Oh.
correct.
Exactly. So you got to
Yeah.
kind of sift through them and figure that out.
He'll talk quick too, like, oh well,
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I feel about like CNN. Like they're probably the more accurate
All right, give me
out of
another one.
all of
Give
them.
me
But
another one.
I can't at this moment. But
I will
but
say,
you got to sift through what's bullshit and what's
Right.
not.
with yeah, I totally agree. Like if I watch MSNBC, I like Joe Scarborough. He's a Republican. Well, he was a Republican. I don't know what he'd claim to be now, but I like watching MSNBC's Joe Scarborough and that group because I get it's editorialized. I get that it's a very heavily left slant, but Joe does tend to bring it back because he was a Republican from Northern Florida, which is crazy ass people.
Florida in general.
Well,
Let's just go ahead and say that.
Either side you are, you need to look at stuff that's not in
Exactly.
rose-colored glasses or stuff.
You got
just
to.
go. All right, that's called breaking the law.
Yeah.
What do we do about it?
Look, it goes back to the national healthcare thing, or having some sort of universal healthcare. Yeah, I really like the idea of it. Do I know how to do it? No. I've said take Medicare and drop the 65-year-old thing off, and then boom, everybody's got Medicare.
Yeah. I think you ease us into it. Like with healthcare, you just say, all right, cool. We'll let y'all have private all you want to if that's what your business is. Cool.
Right.
But I'm also gonna help the government should say, I'm going to help the people too. So if these people can't afford it or whatever, this is an option for these people.
Like honestly,
we're not being
everybody
inclusive.
under 40,000.
We're not being
should
inclusive.
Definitely have free health care.
Yeah, we're not being
if you
inclusive.
make under
to
40,000, you should definitely have free health.
And
care.
then,
I would say if you make under like 60.
That's what I'm saying. It's like everybody that received a stimulus check should have free health care.
Yeah,
if we're looking at it like that.
Yeah, because that says that they know where they're at. Oh,
they know what the bar is.
They said, hey, everyone under 75, we know they need help.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay,
because
so
you want to know
help
what
us.
everybody in like all their assistants, they get paid 80.
Yeah,
so they know what the minimum of what you need
and
in
again,
life is.
It's not free. We're paying taxes for this. This is our money.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're already paying for this stuff. Last thing I want to do is Bernie Sanders, of course, has become huge.
I love Bernie.
We had Bernie on this desk first before y'all even touched him.
I will make sure to keep bringing Bernie
If
back.
we meet like a $500, $600 Patreon goal, I'll get a Bernie tattoo sitting like this.
Oh my god!
I want one of those cardboard cutouts. I want Neek when we
J.
get
Cole
the studio.
put it on his.
When we get the studio, there's gonna be a Bernie in the corner.
That is crazy.
We're gonna call it Flat Bernie. So this was Bernie on Seth Meyers. This is Bernie on Seth Meyers show.
I was almost in tears. I was at the inauguration yesterday, and I was in tears seeing the new president getting sworn in and the old president leaving Washington. I was just sitting there trying to keep warm, trying to pay attention to what was going on. The woman who made the mittens lives in Essex Junction, Vermont. She is a school teacher.
Her address?
And is a very, very nice person, and she has been somewhat overwhelmed by the kind of attention that is being shown to her mittens.
Yeah, and he's had these mittens forever. Like they recycle. This woman recycles old
Bernie
sweaters.
sound high as hell in that.
Bro, he's selling the mittens too. Not a lot. That's.
Oh, they make so much money. People are like, we're treating politics like fans now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Fanboying and fangirling on Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders.
Social media has just changed it all.
Stop. They're not your friends.
Yeah.
They're all rich people controlling your life.
We were just talking about how much everybody paid for these pardons.
Man. Oh, yeah. That's true.
Yeah. Oh.
Can you believe he pardoned Kodak Black? I mean, he still got that sex charge, but that's wild.
That's a sex charge out of South Carolina.
Yeah, it was a state charge.
You know that guy from Alabama who's running around, crawling in your windows and shit? Kodak Black is out.
Snatching your people up.
Everybody, watch out!
Oh my gosh!
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah.
No.
Kodak Black out here he's snatching all you people up.
You need to snatch.
Whoa, that's hot. Sorry.
We're hot. It's okay. That's how it is, man.
Baby, where do you go?
Man, did y'all have fun?
I did, man.
Yeah.
You have fun?
Desmond?
Good.
Fuck Mitch McConnell.
Desmond, what's the minimum we should be
I hate
having?
that guy
what's
more
the
than
minimum?
Trump.
Yeah, he's right.
Dude, he's a fucking cunt.
Look, I've talked about Sloppy Joe. I got to say before the end.
What?
How do you feel about the 14?
The 14,000.
1,400.
1,400 what? How do I feel about it?
Stimulus,
I'm going to take it.
Instead of the 2,000, though. Sloppy Joe said 2,000. That's all.
No. The 2,000.
He said down payment, but you don't say 2,000.
He did say down payment. That's why I was like, no, I ain't asking
that
for a
didn't
loan.
come from you. That came from Trump.
These are separate. Let's write another bill.
Honestly, I think there's probably more to come.
Oh, yeah.
I think that because we aren't through this, we may have 100 million vaccines by April.
Yeah.
But there's likely.
I ain't taking it.
Never.
I'm scared. No, I'm gonna take it at some point. Right now, no.
Are you waiting for the?
I'm
gonna be the last man standing.
Are you waiting for the?
We just gotta get Desmond the vaccine.
Johnson & Johnson has the one dose. So
Yeah.
Johnson, all you have
That's
to do is
coming.
take a one shot.
That's coming.
I'm gonna
For
be on
Johnson
America's
Johnson.
Most Wanted. Have you seen this man? He refuses to take the vaccine.
Well, you know how like all the celebrities are like putting it like driving up and putting their arm up. I want to be the guy who drive put my ass out. Just like give me one right now. They're like, sir. I'm like, this is where
Sir,
I've
that
always
is
gotten
sexual
it.
harassment.
This is where I've always gotten it.
Y'all go get that vaccine. The quicker y'all get it, the quicker I get it. So
There you go.
No,
There you
you're
go.
just gonna be like, everyone's fine.
I'll
Right?
be the I'll be the last one to get it.
I feel you.
Yeah. Desmond, thank you very much for joining us. I want to make sure you all check out his show. It's the Let's Just Sleep on That podcast. Trent Clark, Zach King, Barrett Gruber, the All About Nothing podcast. Want to thank our engineer and producer, Neek the Geek, as well as owner and operator of the G.O.T. Sound Studios. Give us a smile.
Aficionado.
No smile? There it is.
Oh, he's smiling. That's that Kodak Black smile right there.
If you want to book any time, you can call them 803-243-2302 or email gotsoundstudios@gmail.com. 2-hour minimum on bookings. Find out details on Facebook. All you got to do is just search for GOT Sound Studios. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Trent. Thank you, Desmond.
Sir.
We will do it again very soon. The All About Nothing podcast. Y'all have a week.
Have a week. Keep stealing my have a